Hello and welcome to my channel. So my aunt came to me with this idea of setting her stone into a ring that is based off of like a nature style ring. And this was pretty neat because I don't usually do like pieces that reflect nature that often, surprisingly. When I received the casting initially, I had to fill in some areas that had an opening to it, so I had to solder some extra metal in to fill that up. So my aunt's gemstone that she wanted me to set in this ring was a Tanzanite. And it had a bit of a unusual cut to it. Like it wasn't like a typical emerald cut gem. It actually had a lot more facets to it, so it definitely like sparkled a little more because of it. The more facets, the more it like reflects the light better. So this Tanzanite came all the way from France just for me to set, which was pretty exciting. And especially this stone isn't really like super common either. When I set initially, I had to really maneuver the prongs back and forth to get exactly where I needed to go. And I kind of just like cupped the edges a bit, and so that they were still able to be slightly organic. This was my, for the most part, first ring that actually was inspired off a tree branch, and I think I nailed it. However, the process was very, very difficult to start with, so now I got the structure down initially at first, but as far as the texture, that was a whole other thing that I had to figure out. So, in the professional world of a jeweler, all our stuff is made, for the most part, extremely symmetrical, all straight lines. There's just not much organic pieces that we make. Funny enough, majority of the time it's just shapes and making sure everything's exactly like the same on all sides. Now, we work really hard to have everything specifically geometric and perfect, and we've gotten good at like cutting one side to reflect on the other side. We can definitely mimic and make it like perfectly symmetrical that way. And we have like some cool techniques that we can make everything perfectly straight, more than most people, which is pretty neat. So with that being said, since I was so used to structure and perfectly symmetrical jewelry all the time, that when it came time to make a piece that was truly organic, that kind of stumped me for a bit. So I thought, I can make a structured ring that can obviously hold the stone and everything else, but how am I supposed to make it a actual tree branch or have it look like it? Because of all the texture that's involved. So when I design initially, I create the basic shape in my CAD program, and I have it kind of like where I can at least hold the stone and the ring shape and have some support underneath. Now, it was still really smooth. I didn't know how to make it all the three-dimensional pieces that need to be there. So I had to do a lot of research to find some sort of other program that could do more sculpting. This was like a new technique I was learning, and something that was very foreign to me at the time because I didn't do them. I didn't do hardly any sculpting, and we usually don't do sculpting majority of the time. I search and find this one program that's like, funny enough, not supported anymore, but it had the one technique I needed because the specific tree trunk I was trying to create was a very generic one, but it had this look that I really needed. So I had one technique that was perfect. I put the 3D model in, and it just exactly like had the shape that showed up, and I was able to sculpt it. I was like, yes, that's the one. A lot of other rings too that are inspired off of nature that try to attempt this look, they don't always do it. I notice because they just kind of keep the smoothness there, and the trees they're not smooth. They actually have jagged lines, but it's still organic looking. Like it doesn't have any like specific structure where it's going. And so that was tricky trying to move every single prong and branch to fit the Tanzanite. And also, it doesn't look like it's just too symmetrical, so I had to kind of like move one angle and then move one in the opposite direction and then just go from there. And most jewelry pieces that like are try to attempt it was, it's like they're copying off of another type of tree branch that is smooth, like for example bamboo trees and stuff like that, but it doesn't scream nature inspired ring, which is what I was going for, like this one. If I was to make this ring again, I probably would just change the prongs to have a more of a point instead of a round. But other than that though, this was a ring that I nailed pretty well. And as far as like the true like tree trunk inspired nature ring, this is it. This was a project that made it possible for me to truly make pieces that can reflect how nature is, and you can just wear it on your finger, bring outside in and have it with you. And for those of you that made it to the end, thanks for watching.